So let's drill down and take a look at that toolbar, because I do want you guys to be trying out these tools throughout the session. These tools, if you notice, some of them have a little triangle in the bottom right corner. That means any tool that has a triangle in the bottom right corner has some additional options. So to activate the additional options, all you do is click on the tool, hold your mouse still over it, just hover your mouse over it, and you'll see a little flyout that will allow you to pick an additional tool. So go to the pointer tool, go ahead and click on that pointer tool, hover your mouse still for a second, and then pick the one of your choice. To make it visible on the board, you do have to hold down your mouse key as you are moving the tool around. Now, it's important for you to know that you do have to use a pointer tool if you are pointing things to your audience. Your audience will not be able to see your computer mouse cursor. I'm going to say that again because that's important. If you need to point something out to your audience, you can't just use your computer mouse cursor. You do have to use one of these pointer tools in order for it to be visible to your audience. Okay? Below that, you have a pen tool and a highlighter tool. Now, the pen tool default color is black. The highlighter pen color is yellow. So let's learn how to change those. When you activate either the pen tool or the highlighter tool, you're going to see this attribute panel pop up. This attribute panel allows you to change the color. So if you want a pink highlighter, then you activate the highlighter tool, then you click on the color palette. Now don't click here, this is just a picture. You got to go find your own, okay? So activate the color palette, choose the color you want. Now you can also change the stroke. The stroke will make the line thicker. So practice a second using the pen or the highlighter tool, and also practice changing the stroke. Now right below that, when you click on one of the text tools, you have a simple text tool, which is the A by itself, and you also have a text editor tool, which operates very much like a text box using the program Word, a word processing program. So go ahead and practice using one of the text tools. In fact, let's see if you guys are good listeners. I want you to activate the simple text tool, which is the A by itself. Notice that you will get a new attribute panel. It's got a few additional things added to it. So activate the simple text tool, pick your favorite color, go ahead and select 72 points, and go ahead and type your first name on the board. Let's see who can take in all those directions. All right, good job. Make sure that you click out of it once you've typed your name. Make sure you click out of it, and then it will be visible to everybody else. Look at all that. Boy, we got a whole room full of good listeners. All right, so if you have not tried out the text editor tool, you'll find that that will keep your text within a text box that will allow you to even size it to the size that you want. And it will give you a return and the whole thing. So go ahead and test out the text editor tool. And don't forget that color attribute. You can use the colors too using that text box, so you don't have to just put black text up there. Make sure that you are using the attribute panel and changing your text color. Now below that, you also have a couple of shape tools. You have a filled-in square and a filled-in ellipse, which is also a circle in my book. Now you will have this attribute panel. Notice that you have a percentage on each one of these attribute panels. Incidentally, let me explain these attribute panels. They are only going to show up when you use these tools. If you have not clicked on one of these tools, then you will have no attribute panel. Now, depending on which tool that you have clicked on, you'll get a different attribute panel, but you'll only have one at a time. It will never look like my picture where you have all three. Okay? So depending on which tool you use, you'll get one of these attribute panels. So everybody try out the square or the ellipse. rectangle or the ellipse. And notice below that you also have an outline rectangle or ellipse tool. Now, I want everybody to practice using these tools, and also when you get to the or the outline, make sure you test out the stroke. The stroke will change the thickness, so maybe you want a nice thick outline. Also test out the percentage, because that will change the transparency. So maybe you like this green square right here, but check it out. I can actually make it a transparent green square so that now when I move it over something, you can see through it. So the percentage will change the transparency of the item. The stroke will change the weight of a line. Boy, you guys are awesome. I don't ever have a group that's quite with it as much as you guys are, simply because I don't ever get this many good colors and transparent items. Usually I get a lot of black stuff because they can't quite get the hang of it. So you guys are doing a great job. All right, below that you have what is called a screen capture. I don't want anybody messing with the screen capture right now. Let me just explain to you what this is. You change the stroke. You do have to click on one of these tools, so click on either the rectangle or the line tool, and then you'll see that you have a stroke, and then that will allow you to change the thickness of the line. Okay, perfect. So the screen capture tool will actually take you outside of this environment. So if you click the screen capture tool, it will open up a capture tool which will allow you to take a static picture of whatever is open on your computer. So the use case for this would be, say I'm teaching a lesson on monkeys and I want to send you out to Google and let you Google or Bing a monkey. You're going to find your favorite monkey and you're going to take a snapshot of it and bring it here, and it will automatically allow you to place it on the whiteboard. So the reason I don't want a bunch of us doing this is because we might get very graphic, heavily laden here, and I don't want anybody's bandwidth to go wacko. So this might be something you should practice in your own environment. Okay, but do feel free to open up your clip art gallery. As a matter of fact, on Thursday I have really great news for you. We're going to do a fun activity that will teach you how to, whoops, somebody actually did a screen capture, that's okay. I'm going to actually teach you how to customize your clip art gallery. So if you open up your clip art library using the last tool, you'll see that you have a whole bunch of collections that are default collections. These are collections that Blackboard Collaborate has gifted you. They've given you these tools or these clip arts. If there are some collections here that you say, I'm not a big math person, or I don't really use Greek upper and lowercase, you know, those aren't any big deal to me. On Thursday, I'm going to teach you how to hide those collections and then make some of your own. So I'm going to teach you how to customize your clip art collection. So if you frequently use some specific clip art for your teaching, bring them to class on Thursday, and I'm going to teach you how to create your own custom clip art collection. Now, this tab, Backgrounds, you actually do not have this as a participant. I am the only one that can, let me create a new page and show you that I can actually change the background. So there we go. Here's a chalkboard. There's a map. I can do a graph. I can do notebook paper. So lots of fun backgrounds are available when you are a moderator. Okay. All right, fun stuff. So you guys got a quick lesson on how to use these whiteboard tools. Feel free to continue using them throughout. It doesn't bother me at all. And this is a homework assignment for you guys. You should be going into the LearnNowBC portal, create your own session, and then go in there and practice using some of these whiteboard tools. Leanne says, how do you put the sheet of paper up for the background? So Leanne, you actually do not have a background collection as a participant, but later on when I make you a moderator, you will have a background tab. Okay? And yes, you can make the clip art larger. So for instance, if you want this arrow bigger, you're going to click on your selection tool, Raheem's messing with our background. So you can actually click on the, hold on, let me move this over a little bit. You're going to click on the selection tool, which is this tool right here. Then click on the item that you want to make bigger. So if you want to make that arrow bigger, you just click on it, and then you can go ahead and drag the little handles that are around it. So yes, anything that you put on the whiteboard is, you can edit it. So you can make it bigger, you can change the color and all sorts of things. How do you insert your own picture on the whiteboard? A couple of things. You do have to have a picture of yourself on the stored on your computer, and you can either drag and drop your picture to the whiteboard, or you can use the load content button, which you don't have yet. As a moderator, you will have a load content button, and we'll talk about that in just a little while. So for now, you can either right-click copy your picture and then right-click paste it to the whiteboard, or you can simply drag and drop it to the whiteboard. So it does accommodate right-click actions. Okay. You can edit other people's things, but you cannot delete another person's thing. So you can edit it. So in other words, this big blue circle right here, somebody could go in and edit it to a different color. This blue circle, I could go in and change it to any color that I want to. You can't delete it unless you put it up there or you're a moderator. Now I can get rid of everything because I'm the moderator. But you as a participant can only edit things. You just cannot delete them. Okay? Let's see, Debbie says, how did you change another person's color? So let me go back. If somebody has added, let's see, I'm going to put a black square up here. Okay. Hold on, let me make it a black square. I had it white there for a minute. All right, if I put a black square on the board and I wanted to change it, the first thing I would do is go ahead and click on the selection tool. So find your own toolbar, click on the selection tool, click on the black square. When you click on the black square, then your attribute panel will show up. All you do is go to the color palette, and then you can change it to whatever color you want.